It's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv. And this episode is sponsored by Ayana Leaf. Ayana Leaf believes in curating premium CBD products and accessories for black men and women. With a coveted lineup of items that run from rolling papers to CBD bath bombs, Ayana Leaf has a little something for every conscious consumer. Click the link in our bio and learn more about Ayana Leaf. And also, Leafly Therapeutics. Leafly Therapeutic. We at Cash Color Cannabis been following Leafly Therapeutic and their founder, Adelina Sanchez, for a while. Recently, we got a chance to share their story about what they do and how they serve the community. So follow Leafly Therapeutic now and listen to our episode with Leafly founder, Adelina Sanchez, right now. It's streaming on all platforms, so find us on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, without further ado, I got a guest, man. He's not from Atlanta. He actually came up here from Alabama tonight, and I appreciate that immensely. This was such a last-minute request. Man, when my man came through, and that's my man, Antoine Mordican. Y'all probably should know him from Grow God's Club, NFTs. My man actually has his hands in a lot of aspects. Matter of fact, shout out to M4MM, Jay, my girl, Roz. The fairy godmother, Roz McCarthy, yes. Man. She definitely plugs a lot of people in. But without further ado, like I said, I got my man Antoine with me. What's good, man?
What's going on, brother? Appreciate you having me, man.
I appreciate you being in this AC right now with us right now, bro.
Real. It's hot.
I keep forgetting how hot it is until you actually walk outside.
Yep.
Boy, it's warm. It
stick right to you.
It's warm in Atlanta, but you should know some warmth, man. You down there in Alabama now, bro.
Yeah, man. Down there in good old Birmingham, Alabama. I've been for a while now. I came down in 2009.
Yeah.
Went to college, Alabama A&M University. Got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Shoot, been here ever since, man.
Bro, I was gonna highlight you. I did a highlight of HBCU, Kenna alums who graduated from HBCUs today, and I was gonna add you in it, but I was like, actually, I'm gonna have him on the show tonight. We could talk about his HBU experience when he get here.
That's love. I showed peep game. I'm like, damn, I should have got on that one.
No, you good, man. I had you. There was actually a good handful of people I wanted to put. But Instagram only lets you do 10 slides, so I couldn't put 20 people on here. So y'all understand. I feel the vibes. I know y'all went to HBCUs like I did, but I just wanted to.
Best decision I ever made.
For real. Like, well, before we even get into all that, man, first off, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
All right. Well, my name is Antoine Mordican. I'm originally from the west side of Chicago. Came down to Alabama 2009. I'm the CEO of a hemp cultivation company called Native Black Farm that's located in Bessemer, Alabama. I'm also the CEO of Grow God's Club, which is an NFT project that's around creating community around cannabis cultivation and cannabis education, while also offering very unique utilities to our NFT holders. And I'm also the Alabama State Director for Minorities for Medical Marijuana that pretty much just encourage and, provide education, outreach, and advocacy and encourage, minorities to get involved in the cannabis industry.
Solid, man. That's a lineup. That's a resume right there,
man. That's just like a pinch of it.
That's crazy. All right, well, we're going to get into more of a pinch of it, man. But before we get into the business side of everything, yes, I love to always ask my guests, what's their relationship actually with the plant? So what's your relationship with the plant? Like, when was the first time that you actually discovered what cannabis was?
Well, I actually discovered what cannabis was as a youth from the west side of Chicago. Growing up on the west side, you exposed to a lot and you see a lot. So certain lessons that I had with cannabis coming up wasn't necessarily favorable to the crop of the plant. Being a victim of the war on drugs and things like that, I typically strayed away from it. But cannabis didn't become my curiosity and my friend, as I'll say, in my lifestyle until I got into college. I had the opportunity to do a research paper, an English research paper. I chose a random topic, cannabis.
That's a random topic.
Man, once I did that research paper, man, and once I learned that everything that was pretty much told to me was a lie, I just kind of went off and, did crazy amount of research on it and started looking at the plant in totality and, had a lot of theory. And that's when I really got my introduction to it. I stopped looking at it as, the gateway drug or the devil's lettuce, as people may say here in the South. But, I got enlightened.
That's what's up. How did that paper turn out? Did you get, what was the grade?
I got a B.
That's what's up. You got a B?
Yeah, I got a B.
I
got a B out the class in totality, so, cool. Freshman year, we out.
Freshman year, too? Oh, okay.
Yo,
man, look, freshman year, I did such little work. Like, I just, actually, my freshman year, I was playing basketball, so I tried to do what I could do, but I did such little work freshman year, man. I was a terrible student initially.
Nah, man, I always been about my academics, man, since shit, I'm gonna say since birth.
I wish I was joking. Like even in high school, I probably learned more skipping school and going to the library than I actually did in school. But that's neither here nor there. Kids, go to school.
Go to school.
You know what I'm saying? Finish
Get
your education. Finish your education, please, man. So how did you find yourself actually? Oh, actually, before I even ask that, so your relationship with the plant, you realize it evolved over time. Like clearly, you say when you first started, it was war on drugs. You definitely believed in all the stigma. Then you know opened your mind up. When did you actually open your mind up to consuming cannabis?
To consuming cannabis, it had to be during my college days. I wasn't, I was a broke college kid. I wasn't necessarily out here, had, access money to indulge in those kind of things. So I had priorities, and I ain't gonna say, but I was handling a lot of stuff when I was in college as well. So shoot, some of the homies, they'd be like, man, bro, just, they
relax,
just smoke me out. Yeah.
Like,
and,
bro,
they just like to kick it with Twan. We smoke here and there. We had good conversation over the brotherhood smoke, and that'd be it. So whenever I told myself, when I get to the point, you feel me, I gotta show the same love all the way around. And it just been, spiraling since then.
That's what's up, man. And you went to, was it Alabama A&M?
Alabama A&M, Bulldogs up there on the hill.
Talk about it, man. Actually, my brother went to Alabama A&M for the HBUs thing. It runs in the family. Like my brother, he lives in Huntsville right now, so he went down to A&M. Man, I remember going down there as a kid. Like I loved the whole vibe, bro.
Yeah, man, I was sold when I first went to Huntsville. So I got to Alabama A&M from the west side of Chicago. I just knew I had to get out the city to be able to make something of myself. So my uncle was telling me how to Alabama A&M. He was like, I really went for all the wrong reasons, trying to chase, the girls and things like that. But however, it was the same time the best decision I made. Once I went to the university, I got to connect with like-minded individuals that looked like me, like myself, from different backgrounds. Hell, a lot of us came from Chicago, came down to A&M. So we had a whole, conglomerate of people, that's trying to accomplish the same thing. And man, it's been just blossoming since then.
That's what's up, man. And that's the dope thing about. And I'm not gonna just say just HBCUs. This is a college thing. Like, so don't feel like you can't get into the conversation. But the experience at a HBCU is different. You know what I mean? And it's dope to see people who look like yourself on the same grind that you think you are, you feel like you are at that moment. You know what I mean? That's one of them things that definitely, when they say representation matters, like it's dope to see all these people going at the same thing in different type of ways, but everybody's kind of got a goal. You know what I mean? That was definitely the energy I needed when I got to Johnson C. Smith. So, but as you move forward from there, man, when did you decide you was going to formally get into the business of cannabis? And also, what was you doing prior to getting into the business of cannabis?
What I was doing prior to getting into the business of cannabis, I'm an electrical engineer by nature, so I was doing engineering duties. But in 2018, when a farm bill got signed, that's when I really was considering, getting to the space in the industry. But, how the Lord works, it's a lot of blocks and walls that I end up hitting when trying to accomplish certain things. Like I was just trying to get some land so I can say I'm leasing it so I can try to get hold of the license. My goal was just to get hold of the license. And the Lord revealed to me that ain't the bigger thing, just the license. So as that things just continue to grow, I didn't want to risk my family livelihood or anything, just to jump up to hemp. And, cannabis, I'm married, 3 children, they need daddy there, we need the capital coming in. So I couldn't make that decision then. However, when 2020 hit, COVID, it got everybody refocus and people had to align themselves in what they felt like their worth was and what they wanted to do moving forward. And hemp was it. I ended up finding me 10 acres in Bessemer and just set up shop. I put in all the work, the sweat equity. I built the greenhouse, set the dug the trenches, put the water line in, built the power lines, all that, everything.
Bro, how hard was it well, it shouldn't have been that hard, but how hard was it to actually find the acres that you needed to find? You know what I mean? Because again, people who actually own land, they're real serious about that. Like they try to keep their hands on it. Like you're randomly gonna walk down the street and see 10 acres that's wide open.
I'm going to tell you, it was the Lord. It was the Lord, man. I'm telling you, because I was already looking around and I had some other offers in other places as well that, that was, real good offers. But, I ended up finding this 10 acres that was perfect for what I needed for. A lot of folks don't look and think about, zoning when it comes down.
Exactly. There's levels.
Certain things, what you want to be around, utilities and such like that. When you're trying to set up shop or whatever you're trying to do with this land, you got to think about these things. You got to get there. And the Lord blessed me with a perfectly square 10 acres, you know, with the utilities and everything right there accessible, and shoot, the deal went smoothly. He made everything happen. He showed me a lot of favor.
That's dope. Let's talk about, because you're electrical, your background is electrical engineering, but when did you learn how to grow? Like, when did you get into that level?
I had no experience.
Most of us don't. When are you trying to grow stuff, man?
I just realized I had a green thumb and I can keep plants alive. So I just tried it. I just tried it, you know, show the plant some love, you know. You get, once you get the experience, you'll learn a lot once you just kind of just touch the plant. Once you touch the plant, you'll get it.
Yo, that's what's up, man. So, you know, the crazy part is, you know, especially if you ever try to actually grow something, how many times the things you're trying to keep alive will die? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many plants did you lose in the process of you trying to actually keep something alive?
A lot. No, I'm still going through the process as of now. Like, I'm in my second year of hemp cultivation, you know, to be a little transparent. On my first grow, you know, I lost my whole entire first batch due to heat stress, not thinking of the airflow that I need to keep in there, not thinking of the temperature I want to try to maintain, you know. And yeah, my first batch just didn't make it. So, you know, you could take some big hits when you're trying to, you know, achieve your dreams or whatever it is that you're trying to, you know, execute. You know, it's trial and error. Yeah. You got to be able to, you know, understand that coming and just keep trying. Yeah,
but you kept trying, man. And now, like you guys mentioned, we got 10 acres. You got the greenhouse. You're actually making good on what you wanted to do. You know what I mean? Especially in a state like Alabama. Like, I'm pretty sure even that wasn't the easiest, some easy hurdles to get over.
Yeah, it wasn't that tough, man. Once again, man, the Lord showed up again. He made sure that I established a relationship with the state to make sure that, you know, I know the ins and outs and the rules and regulations, what's going to be, you know, required of me to be able to be in compliance in this space. So that's what was my main goal, is making sure that I'm in compliance, you know, because I know the industry is finna develop. I know it's coming to Alabama. I know all these different things. So what's most important to me that I need to get is the experience. Yeah. And the only way I was able to get that experience was to give it to myself. Yeah.
And you got involved with a good group of people who could actually help you when it comes to mentorship, and it helps you when it comes to learning these kind of hoops and ladders, especially legally, and that's M4MM, man. Yes. I always call Roz the cannabis fairy godmother. Like, she's somebody who definitely comes in. She definitely somebody who comes in and really puts her hands around the whole entire group and helps us move forward. How did you get involved with M4MM, man? And what's your relationship like with Roz as far as her helping you out and mentoring you?
Man, my relationship with M4MM started really from my stepfather. He had ended up mentioning to me, he started, you know, hearing all the conversations I was having with my mother about, you know, really starting them on cannabis brand and industry, you know, hemp cultivation company. So he ended up just signing me up, paid the dues and everything for it. And I've been a member since, I think, like 2018, 2019. But with me being in Alabama, you know, M4MM president wasn't in Alabama. I just happened to be a member that's in Alabama. So
wait, was there a chapter in there prior to? Okay.
No, sir. No footprint at all in Alabama. So, but I was a member there, and I was, you know, in tune with what's going on in the state. So once I started my hemp company, I ended up getting the opportunity to speak in front of the Alabama Health Committee. And, you know, when I ended up getting that opportunity, I'm like, you know, I got to get Muggs on the phone. I need some guidance. I need some guidance. Yeah. So, you know, I was thankful enough, you know, when I called, they answered, you know, gave me a little bit of guidance, and was able to, you know, speak and represent, you know, the black farmers in the medical cannabis industry that's coming to Alabama, and just hemp farmers in general, you know, when this industry is coming to Alabama. So just position myself from that. Then I saw the lack of representation in the room. I'm like, yo, I can't leave it like this.
Bro, it's Alabama, man. Like the lack of representation in the room should be ridiculous, but I'm actually not shocked. You know what I mean? Because it's just how the state is.
When nobody.
It's just how the state is. Like, again, like my family's from Alabama, so I've been back and forth my entire life for the most part. So Alabama's a different place.
That's true. It's loving though, man. That Southern hospitality took me for shock when I came down. It took me for a complete loop. So Alabama always been good, man. They show love, but you know, you got to know how to navigate and move in space just like you would being from the west side of Chicago. Yeah, man. Well, you still moving. I like the way you have been moving as far as as in the business. You know what I'm saying? You definitely learn the ropes the way you need to learn, and you established yourself to the point where you now wanted to evolve it out even more. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people now leaning into the technology side, NFTs. We talking about crypto. We talking about things like that when it comes to trying to diversify your portfolios. Speak to us about what Grow God's Club is, and what's the Grow God's Club NFT all about? Man, the Grow God Club is probably one of the most unique cannabis-related projects you're gonna ever hear about. So it's myself and 3 other cultivators throughout the United States, and we pretty much just come together, creating, you know, some unique art, telling our journeys on how we kind of got into the cannabis space. So you'll get an NFT that that'll represent my brand, you know, with me building my greenhouse or something like that. And what we bring into the community is really, you know, cannabis education. You know, so many folks want to cultivate in some form. You know, everybody love the plant. Everybody love the plant, and there's a lot of people that want to learn how to grow. So, you know, we want to make sure we come with cultivation education while also talking about cannabis education, removing certain stigmas and things like that. So we came up with the idea to create an NFT project that would give some amazing utilities to the NFT holders in this booming marketing industry that's already happening around us. Ain't no projects that I really know that was really doing anything like this, you know, black owned. You know, we already know cultivators, farmers in general, you know, minorities we low on the radar. We less than like 2%. I don't even know exact number. Y'all should look it up to see exactly what that is.
If we're at 2%, I'd be happy and sad at the same time.
Like, I think it's less than it's like 1 point something.
I was about to say we was at less than 1% for way too long.
Yeah, and like when you think of that, just think about that. So we like, man, how can we be able to create something that can be able to know we gonna do what we gonna do in our respectable areas?
Yeah.
Off rip, we all, you know, doing our thing in our respectable areas, but for us to be able to come together and to be able to create a project of, you know, to really push that towards the people and be able to give them some really good utilities and a piece of history at the same time with the respectable, you know, cultivators, it was like, man, we just got to do it, and it just been kind of growing from there.
That's what's up. You know, NFTs, I was talking about NFTs last week with my guest, Vincent Owens. Vincent is he's somebody really big in the crypto, really big in the NFTs and cannabis. So we was chopping up about that, and we was discussing the stigma that NFTs have, because most people are so confused about exactly what they are, how they operate, any of that. Bro, yeah, exactly.
No,
exactly. People just screenshotting stuff at this point and trying to sell it to you, man. How, you know, when it came to learning about NFTs, like, when you started actually learning about it, what made you say, like, okay, this would be the perfect vehicle for me to help generate not only income, but also, you know, help other people kind of get involved and trying to and learn about the space?
Yeah, my thing was what I've been, you know, pushing for a while now is really ownership. No, ownership and what it is that, you know, we trying to create and how we trying to, you know, get certain things to the people. So I was just trying to find a way and just kind of got inspired about the lack of.
Yeah.
The lack of, you can see that as bright as day. So I just put my finger there and filled that void. Yeah. And it just constantly just kept playing on me. I constantly continued to get inspired. I started getting involved in other projects. I started to see what this can happen, what this can do. And my background being an engineer, you know, I'm thinking of it in a wider scope. Like, we plan on entering the metaverse, you know, entering the virtual space with cannabis, you know, cannabis cultivation in the metaverse, in the virtual space. So it's limitless opportunities. When I really looked at it, it's like, what can I not do with this, you know, Web 3.0 cryptocurrency, NFTs, that's one of a kind, that's unheard of, and nobody else is, surprisingly, I don't know how y'all not doing it yet.
I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I should be doing it, but that's a whole nother conversation, man. What is
a lot of work.
What are some of the utilities that you get when you actually do purchase the NFT? Like, what comes behind it?
All right, so we're gonna be minting a total of 10,000 NFTs. We're gonna have a pre-sale this upcoming Juneteenth. That's up for discussion at this point, how volatile this market been with Ethereum right now, but we're going to be on the Ethereum blockchain. But the utilities that you'll get with this NFT, our top tier is going to be our Grow God tier. So if you become one of our lucky individual NFT holders that hold the Grow God tier, you'll get to rename a strand or develop a strand with your designated cultivator. You and 4 of your friends will be able to tour a cannabis cultivation facility. You get merchandise, sample package. You'll get a home grow kit, tent, LED lights, humidifier, temperature control, humidifier, tent. You'll get 5 hours of cannabis consultation from your designated cultivator. You'll get a physical copy of the NFT as well as a digital copy of the NFT. So you're going to get more than just a JPEG. And then at the same time, what we're doing with the project, the stories and the journeys that we're telling, and the stories that we're telling through the project is going to be historic in itself. So you also going to own a piece of history.
That's what's up. So and it's an auction, correct? Like, it's not like a set price.
Yeah, well, it is a set price when you mint.
Yeah.
When you buy in on the original NFT project, if you get on it early, as folks will say, you know, when they launch and go live, so our pre-sale, we're gonna mint 1,000 NFTs at 0.2 Ethereum. Based off the price of Ethereum right now, that may be a couple $100.
Yeah.
And then our public sale, once we're gonna sell the remaining 9,000, is gonna be at 0.3 Ethereum, and that's gonna be probably in the range of like maybe $400 or $500 now. And you don't know what NFT you get when you buy.
Okay, so it's gonna be a surprise.
Yeah, it's random. Okay. You'll get, and then once we do the reveal, you'll see which NFT that you hold, what metadata you may have, how rare is it, who's the respectable cultivator is, what's the dope art looking like, and then what utilities you got. So we're gonna roll these things out in phases. So it's not like a quick pop like most NFTs are. They just call them things rugs or whatever. But nah, man, we here for the long run. This project gonna be going for at least 4 to 5 years, and we already talking about having multiple seasons with other cultivators as well, so they can be able to tell their stories as well.
Well, hopefully Ethereum makes a play back up. I have invested a little bit in Ethereum. And I need that to jump back up because I was telling Vincent last week, man. I went from feeling like I'm about to quit my job to damn keep that.
It hurt quick. It hurt quick, man. It hurt. It hit real quick.
Yeah,
and man. Shout out to the Bitcoin Wolf, man. That's my line brother. He really got me into crypto back in 2018 when Bitcoin was like 400 a coin.
Oh, he was one of the people who got that 400.
Yeah. Well, we was broke college kids.
Okay.
We was playing around with it. We was millionaires in Doge and everything before Doge did what it is that it did. But, he always been, forward thinking, with these things. He the first one to introduce NFTs to me. It was like a color of Hawaiian blue. I'm like, what you gonna do with that, bro?
That's what I felt when I first saw it. When somebody first presented an NFT to me, that was my very first reaction. What am I gonna do with this?
What you gonna do with that, bro?
Yeah.
And now we starting to see what those implementations may be, especially in Web 3.0, when you have these utilities connected to it, and that's what's really gonna create and hold the value of the NFT.
Yeah.
Because you gotta. Everything's tracked through the blockchain.
That's what's up. And you're actually offering a whole lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so for a couple $100, the things that you are offering on the back end of that, some of those things will cost way more than a couple $100.
Man, easy.
Yeah.
Easy. So, and that's what it's all about, man. Then just creating that community, man, a haven where people can come and talk cannabis. If they grow in a respectable state, they able to jump into the Discord, ask for some questions like, oh, man, I don't know what's going on with my plant. She looking a little sick. She getting a little yellow. What should I do? One of our grow guys, we call him the real cannabis scientist, Brian Jones. This dude, he'll look at a plant, he'll completely diagnose it to you down to what you need to be able to add to it, to the ohms and everything. I'm like, yo, this guy is really a genius when it comes down to it. So you getting advice from individuals like that that's certified in the space, in the group, and then also that just love to grow.
Yeah. Bro, that's solid, man. Let's talk about Native Black Farm Plug. And I also got to shout you out for the shirt, man. Thank you for the shirt, bro.
No problem,
Native Black Farm Plug. First off, I love the name. Talk to us about what that is and what that kind of and what that means for you.
Native Black Farm. Yeah. What it means for me is just being true, to yourself and the roots and where it is that you come from. With me being in the South, as I really start to understand how it is to move as a black man in these southern states, it was a lot of, if you don't love being here, go back home, go back to wherever it is that you come from. So I just kind of played off of that. I'm like, well, I'm native to these lands.
Yeah.
I happen to be black, and I'm about to create a farm. So we Native Black Farm. Well, we Native Black Enterprise, and our first branch is Native Black Farms.
That's what's up, man. How long, and what's the plan for Native Black Farm as you move forward? Like, what are some of the goals you have for the business?
Man, as I move forward, just scaling my process with my hemp cultivation, I produce some of the premium best quality cannabis. Well, I'm sorry, hemp CBD flower that you can find in Alabama. However, I'm also scaling, getting in position into the medical industry that's coming into Alabama, building a new state-of-the-art facility that...
Bro, that's crazy. The medical industry... Medical coming to Alabama.
Yes.
We are in Georgia. Like why Alabama's beating us?
Man, y'all got it first.
I ain't got time for this, dog.
Yeah, man, y'all got it first. I thought y'all would have already
We
been
got
running.
it first with no stores. We got a couple of licensees that people don't believe in. Like no structure. Like nothing happening. But Alabama.
Man, that's why I involve Alabamians to get involved in the process.
Man,
the rules and regulations are being issued right now. Go to their website. You can read it. Send messages. Send feedback. And vote for people that's pro-cannabis.
Hey, bro, at this point, yeah, man, because Alabama's beating us right now. That can't keep happening. When we look up and see all these other states in the South pop up and Georgia's still sitting back like, well, I don't know.
I thought we was going to beat Mississippi.
Yeah, exactly. Like we really having this, man. But it's dope.
Mississippi got it on us.
It's dope to see in Alabama because you talk about a place that really I feel like owes it to a black community as far as from the grow side, from the agricultural side. This plant is ours. Like
Man.
we should be stepping forward first down here.
We can do
You know what I
something
mean?
very historic right now, man.
Yeah.
Very historic. If they do it right, we can do something very historic.
Yeah. So what's the temperature like when it comes to support for cannabis and support for hemp in Alabama, especially when it comes from the black community? Like, what's the temperature like?
Man, people still learning.
Yeah,
They just learning about it. They didn't even know you can grow hemp
bro.
in Alabama. They didn't even know we got the medical law right now, so they still being introduced.
I'm sure there's still an older generation.
Yes.
That's definitely battling against this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned that my elders are the hard to mentally penetrate when it comes down to this cannabis plant.
Yeah.
Because they've been the ones fed the stigma. They've been the ones that's fed it to us. So it's like to tell them that it can do this and other different things, they just got to have their experience with it.
Yeah, I look at it as that's a generation that when we talk about the war on drugs, y'all were the very first. They were the very first experiments on how we do this. Like I remember having a conversation with my mom's about this. And again, I told you my family's from Alabama. My mom is from Camden, Alabama, and she talks about how she met my father in Boston at a jazz club. And we was talking about, this is around the time the podcast first started off, and she would rarely talk to me about this. She would always be upset I'm doing it in a lot of ways because she was like, they could lock you up, this, that, and the third, whoop-de-whoop-de-wop. And then one day we just had this conversation, and she was like, yo, so remember I told you, we was talking about the jazz club? She said, so the weed, that's why they kept locking up Ray Charles. That's why they kept locking up all the jazz singers, ain't it? I was like, yeah. So you saw it happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you saw a different, you saw a real calculated propaganda campaign come down the road. So I'm not shocked that it is kind of hard for them to get over. Even as it's getting legal, you still have a mentality of, I was right here when this was for real, and then you tied it into civil rights movement, you tied it into so much other shit, it's kind of hard to get them out of that mind state.
Yep.
Yeah, but they still need, again, bless the people like my mom who are still open-minded enough to say, I've been there, I've done that, but I'm still open to hear the conversation. There's a lot of brothers and sisters who are part of that era who are still open to hear the conversation. As much as there are a lot that don't.
Yeah. let me tell you how I'm kind of hitting with it, So I view the cannabis plant, in its totality, no more outside of just the recreational medical use, the consumption of it, the combustion of it, This cannabis plant can be used for so much more, based off the rabbit hole I went down, my cannabis research, it can be used to clean our airs. It can remove so much CO2 as a, 10-year oak tree plant. Like, wow, that's crazy. We dealing with that right now. It can clean our soils. It can remove remediations out of our soil. It can be used as animal feed. It can be used as biofuel. Oh, wow, man, we got a problem with fuel right now, It can be used as
cement, man. You could be building shit.
Be building material.
Yeah, shout out to Derek Muhammad. Man. You need to meet Derek Muhammad with Bossville Farms, man. You and Derek have an amazing conversation about all this because
it can be used for so much.
He got the bricks coming, like the bricks.
And I'm trying to build my next house out of him, man.
You need to meet Derek, man. That's what he's talking about.
Let's go.
He's out in South Carolina. Like y'all definitely got some synergy because he got the bricks. Like he definitely got to play with that when you talk about that.
Man, I'm wowing the county right now. Come on.
So it's dope, but again, I salute you in the state that you're in because Alabama would be a hard territory to kind of crack. So what you're doing is amazing, man. What do you feel like is the future of cannabis advocacy in Alabama? Like, do you see that as being something that's growing as far as a sentiment amongst people that we need to not only just be saying to ourselves personally, I want to see this happen, but let's get more active about the situation?
Yeah, I definitely see it growing more, especially as folks just become more knowledgeable of it. Like, when it comes down to education and the information that Alabamians have, if it's not really put in front of them, they're not going to look for, it's kind of taboo to talk about cannabis in Alabama. But as long as folks knowing more about it, folks more to speak a little more about it, they down to have a conversation about it, especially these older Caucasian women, on their experience when it comes down to cannabis and things like that, just to hear their love and their excitement for it, it's great, that haven't been everybody's experience, but it's now that we can have that conversation, create some, level, some similarities when it comes down to this plant and what it can do in totality. People will be more on the advocacy side of it once they learn and debunk the lies that they've been told on what cannabis can really do for Alabama in just general, man. Agricultural, economic stimulation that it'll bring, and what we have coming in Alabama. That's why I tell them, please, everybody just get involved in the process. Reach out to your local state representative, send them an email, whatever. Tell them support, whatever bills we have coming forward, or just tell them support anything that's cannabis related, just to get involved in the process. And that's what I see coming in the future in the advocacy in Alabama.
What's been the hardest part of you breaking into this industry? Like, what do you feel like was your biggest challenge?
Myself. I battled a lot before, to really jump into get into the industry, just due to the stigma that came with it, just due to the light that comes with it. Me putting myself in this kind of position, exposure I'm giving to my family. As a black man in America, it's like, man, I had to weigh a lot. So it really is myself. And then once the Lord revealed to me, He moved certain things out my way, and I'm pretty much just holding the wheel steady at this point,
Man, hold the yoke and follow His direction, bro.
Man, I'm holding
like
steady.
all day for that.
He been showing me the way. So
yeah.
Who am I not to walk? I'm a man of faith. I'm very spiritual, and He keeps showing up for me. I could have been gone. I'd have left this earth, many years ago, even before I even got to college. Just based off, background. So when I got past all that, I'm on the other side of the fence now. Y'all gonna have to catch me in stride.
That's what's up, man. So what have you learned about yourself being in this journey?
Man, just really the relentlessness, of all things that has been designed to tear me down. I continue to push through. I don't care what the battle may be, how tough it may get, who I got with me. I carry the load by myself if I need to, and that's the strength that the Lord blessed me with. And shoot, I just carry it, man. I just carry it. I put off good energy. I put good energy into the universe, and it comes back, and He keep taking care of me.
That's what's up, man. Do you ever feel like the hemp side of this business is getting oversaturated?
Oh, for sure. And that's why I'm focused on producing quality cannabis flower, because some of y'all, yeah, they ain't got it. They ain't got it, so they won't last so long, especially depending on what you in for it for. Of course, it's a very lucrative industry right now, but I'd be lying to you if I tell you that I'm just getting buku money right now. Nah, I'm at a loss. I'm still in the red, but I'm more focused on what my end goal is, and I'm here for the long game. I'm not here for the quick, short money grab. This finna be my life. This is finna be the job and the information that I pass down to my lineage, to my kids. They will be adopting this business. They will be able to pick up and do whatever it is. It's more about generational wealth at this point. I can't. Yeah, that's just how I had to set it up.
Yeah, you've been able to stand on the shoulders of some amazing people when it comes into this. You've been able to pull information from people like Roz, and I'm pretty sure she's put you on a lot of other people. What are your plans to give back that kind of knowledge to somebody who's behind you, who is totally blind to this business, but they do want to get involved? Like, what's your next? Do you feel like mentorship is something that you want to definitely jump into and be able to provide for people?
I just tell folks to hit my line. Most parts, I'm getting more into the space now that, I'm becoming more recognizable, especially, ultimately my goal when it's all said and done, everybody here and receive these words, I'm going to become who it is that I feel like I'm going to be. The Lord done already told me I'm going to do that. But my goal is to bring other folks with me. So my goal is to be able to make sure I get more minorities involved in this industry in some form of some way. So with that being said, I'm always giving the knowledge and wisdom back, especially to the youth that's on game.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So where we think we're gonna see you in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, man, probably on that Forbes list. Probably on that Forbes list, as this new innovative, young black man from the west side of Chicago came to Alabama and did these amazing things. Historic, man. 5 years. Look what I done did in 2.
Bro, that's epic, man. You done came from the west side of Chicago. You ever think about going back to Illinois and getting involved? Like, they definitely open up.
It's done. It's done up there, man. They done already played that game. That game is already set. So to really be able to try to get something set up there, that'll be a whole different, fight in itself for a game that's already making trillions of dollars. We in some novice here in Alabama. It's fresh.
Yeah.
They, everybody's learning about it. So that's why I say everybody needs to get involved in the process, because, your voice can be heard right now. Don't wait till them rules are written and think you finna play this game and think you finna win, because you're lying to yourself.
Antonio, you did your thing, man. Antoine, excuse me. You did your thing, man. I appreciate you coming through. You definitely blessed us with some good information. And I want people to know how they can get in touch with you, how they can learn more about. We all got quiet because this person who just walked in here, I ain't seen her in forever. I ain't seen Antoinette forever, but hey, let us know how they can get in touch with you and how they can find you online, how they can get in touch with you, whether they're in Alabama, they just want to learn more about how to get into this business, like how they can do that.
Man, y'all can find me on my website, nativeblackfarm.com. Subscribe to my mailing list to be able to get in contact with me that way. You can also visit thegrowguysclub.com to learn more about the NFT, to be able to join the community there. You'll find all our links. Grow Guys Club on all platforms. You can find me, Antoine Mordican, on LinkedIn to be able to connect, and KingTwan84 on Instagram. And that's it, man. That's how y'all can find me.
My guy, Antoine Mordican, like you say, he's doing a lot of big things. Alabama should be very happy that they got a brother like you being a voice and being a presence down there. I think that you'll be able to create a lot of moves and shake a lot of rooms down there, bro.
Man, it's all about, trying to make change, trying to make impact, what you're doing when it's all said and done.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through. Again, blessing us with the knowledge today. And thank you again for everybody who's watching. That's Cash Color Campus, a high level of conversation. And again, this episode was sponsored by Ayana Leaf and Leafly Therapeutic.